What's up, guys? Today we're out here with the TIE Fighter from Gearbest.com, and this was sent to me courtesy of Gearbest, obviously. So we're gonna get this one in the air and check it out. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the Propel ones do, no altitude hold or anything like that, but it does fly very well, and I think you guys might like it, so let's check it out. Okay, we're out here today again with another Star Wars quadcopter. This one is from Gearbest.com, and it is not the Propel one, but this is, you know, the Gearbest version. It does come in Star Wars packaging. It has a nice little battery bay back here. The TIE Fighter sort of acts as prop guards, and it is very lightweight. We do have a little bit of a wind out here, so we're going to try to see how we do here. It does come with 2 batteries and it's full set of props. These are 350 milliamp hour batteries, and it takes about an hour to charge them with the included charger. And then you have your nice little transmitter, has Star Wars on here. This button's going to change your rates, and this one's going to do flips. Can't remember what this one does. We'll figure it out when we get in the air. One thing to note was I did not get any English instructions with this quadcopter, so be aware of that. And one of these batteries fits in here better than the other one. Not sure which one it is. Let's go with this one. And I am going to put it in, set it down on something a little bit more level, and then we're going to turn our transmitter on here, give it the little up down, and we are bound. Now I'm going to try and stuff this in here and close my battery door. That is the one thing with this quad. Bit of a tight squeeze, and one of the batteries doesn't seem to want to fit. That one seems okay. So one thing I really like about this transmitter is this light here will tell you which rate you're in. And I'm going to go right up in the 3rd rate because a little bit windy today. So there we go, and my battery door is already open. Let's see if we can kind of close that a little bit. But I don't think it's going to stay closed. One of the batteries I was able to close better than this one. We'll make do with what we got. So let's go up in the air here. And it does look super cool in the air. I mean, come on. The TIE Fighter, right? I am sort of walking through the snow here. Back on the Hoth system here. TIE Fighters didn't play a huge role on the actual planet Hoth, but they were in the space above it, I believe, in Empire Strikes Back. So there you go, you get a little bit of a funnel going with your TIE Fighter here. Here's your yaw rate on the 3rd rate. Let's bring it in actually closer and do it. Oh, we got a little bit of wind coming. See if that dies down a little bit. It will fight a little bit of a wind in this 3rd rate here. I mean, it does fly really well for what it is. Get some pretty good range on it. You know, flies very maneuverable. Let's see if we can give you a yaw demonstration now. So there's your yaw on the 3rd rate. See if it changes. 1st rate, yep, a little slower on the 1st rate. Not too much changed in the 2nd rate, and now we're back in our 3rd rate here. I mean, it's not super quick, but it does fly very well. And it is fairly maneuverable. Lost it for a second there. A little bit windy out today in central New York. So not 100% sure on the flight time. I think it's in the 5, 6, 7 minute range. I will post the flight time on the screen as always. Get some nice flips there. Whoa, I killed my throttle there for a second and we lost altitude. One thing that I will say about the flight times is they will vary a little bit. If you're in a warmer climate here, you're probably going to get a better flight time than I get here because the cold weather is going to kill your battery faster. And we're catching some wind there. One thing, it does do a little jerky motions when you get some wind on it. And that's those big wings, I guess you'd call them. I don't know if they're 100% wings, but you know what I'm trying to say there. But I do like this one a lot. It flies very nice, and it is in the $50 range. So those of you out there that want, a Star Wars quadcopter that flies really nice, and you can't afford the Propel ones, those ones are pretty pricey. This one's a pretty good option. Comes in around the $50 mark, 54-ish, somewhere in that region, between 50 and 60 bucks. And I'm not sure if this is some sort of officially licensed thing or if it's just a knockoff. Probably just a knockoff. But it does fly real well. And it flips pretty well. Look at those flips. I like the way it flips. It even does the rolls, which is a little bit of an achievement with those big wing-like things. I guess they're called wings. But yeah, I definitely like flying this one. It looks real cool. You don't really notice the props too much. So it does look like your TIE fighter flying through the Hoth system here. And it is maneuverable. In and out of the trees, coming back at me. And around. You get a little, I don't know if you can see that, the little LEDs kind of blink at you. And if you fly this indoors at night or outside at night, whatever, where it's a little bit less lit up, obviously, than the bright sunlight here, you can see kind of like a red LED that kind of lights up the cockpit. I believe there is sort of like a pilot in there that you can kind of see. But I really like this one. It's fun to fly, it flies well, it's maneuverable, and it's Star Wars. So that's pretty cool. TIE fighter. This is like your generic TIE fighter. It's not like Darth Vader's TIE fighter with the curved wings there. Seem to get good range on it. Haven't had any real issues with this. I do like that it comes with an extra battery. Seems to be kind of a trend. A lot of these companies are including the spare battery, and that's definitely a good thing. But like I said, if you can't afford one of the Propel ones, this guy flies real nice. Here we are out in the winter, and it's flying around nice. Got some wind coming from my right, blowing a little bit. Let's go into it. And it can fight the wind a little bit. It is micro-sized quad. And it is very light. If you feel this in your hand, not a lot of weight to it. So it probably will get blown around in a strong wind, but the little wind that's out today seems to be able to fight pretty well. And I think that might be my LVC warning here. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, that definitely was my LVC warning. If you can see the LEDs there flashing. So there you go. There's your flight time. Not a bad flight time. Seemed like a satisfying flight time. I'll definitely have it on the bottom of the screen here, the exact flight time. And I think I mentioned that the batteries take just under an hour, about an hour to charge with the included charger. And it does come with a spare battery, and it is a fairly common battery size, and the plug, the mini loci or micro loci, forget what they call it exactly. So if you've got quads out there, you probably got something that might work, other than, you might have some problems stuffing it in there. But definitely like this one. I forgot to mention that it does have like return to home and headless mode, and that's, actually I forgot to push this button, can't remember what it was. So, but like I said, it did come with only Chinese instructions, so it's a little bit hard to determine what does what. But I believe if you hold both of these down, it's either headless mode or return to home. Maybe the one push here is headless mode, and the second one is return to home. Maybe we'll let's pop the other battery in there real quick and see if we can figure it out. So we'll put that guy in here. Let me shut this off for now. We got a big truck going by there. Had a little bit of a hard time finding a spot to do this review because there's snow everywhere. And I believe this is the battery that will not allow me to close the door. But that's okay. Yeah, see, this one's just a little bit bigger than the other one, so it doesn't really want to close. So again, you give it the up down, that's going to bind it, and I'm going to go right to the third right here, and let's see what this button does. Pushed it. Think maybe it's coming return to home. Let's hit both these, see what happens. I'm not really sure what that's doing. Headless mode maybe? Yeah, that's headless mode. Watch out for the tree there, Walshy. Anyway, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of headless mode, so that's what it is. The double push in is headless mode, and I think that when I push this, it kind of wanted to come back to me, so that one's return to home. The single push to this button, and then the double push is headless mode. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the crash into the tree. Luckily it fell out and I didn't have to go shaking for it. It wasn't up too high anyway, so it wasn't going to be a big deal, I don't think. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to go warm up my hands. A little cold outside. There you go, guys. Little flight video with a TIE Fighter here, sent to me courtesy of Gearbest.com. Thanks again to Gearbest for sending me this for a review. And if you're interested, I'll have a link in the description where you can check it out. It does fly very well. Like I said, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the Propel ones, but it is much cheaper. It doesn't have the altitude hold, doesn't have the really cool box, but it does fly very well. And it's pretty cool to watch the TIE Fighter fly around in the air. So if you're interested, check the link in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And if I missed anything with the TIE Fighter here, or if you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, try not to crash and burn, and happy flying. Getting windy. I mean, that's kind of cool, but... Whoa! What happened? I don't know why we're not... That was strange. Let the wind die down a little bit. What's up, guys? Out here today with another quadcopter, another Star Wars. This is the TIE Fighter from Gearbest.com. Gearbest sent to me this